Hello, welcome to the BirchStreet approval training. Today we'll cover how to approve and disapprove purchase orders, and we'll cover the different topics to help you make that decision. So let's go ahead and log in. From here, you'll notice that we are brought straight to the Approvals tab. This can be defaulted in the My Settings screen. So from here, all we have to do is click the Approve or Disapprove button. It's as simple as that. So if this first purchase order in the list, you already know what it's about. It's for the New Jersey restaurant supply, and Alex is the one that put it in. All you have to do is click Approve, and you're done. This order has now been approved, and it will go to the next approver or directly to the supplier. If you know that you want to disapprove the purchase order from Miami Produce, all you have to do is click Disapprove, add a note of why you're disapproving it, and click Save. And the order has been disapproved. And once it's disapproved, it's removed from your list of approvals. But most of the time, you're going to want to know a little bit more information before you make your decision. So the best way to do this is using the Print with Details screen. If we click with Print with Details, it will show you the purchase order. This is for cherry danishes and gadgets that are black. And we have 8 dozen danishes and 9 cases of the black gadgets. If you think you want to look at the budget and make your decision that way, we can scroll down and you can see this is hitting September of 2016's budget. It's hitting the Department 1, this GL account. Your budgeted amount is $95,000 and your current balance is the full $95,000. You have $8,000 more in approval pending, and this purchase order is $231 for an ending balance of about $78,000 or 90% of your total budget. So if everything that's in pending approval gets approved and this purchase order gets approved, this is what would be remaining. You can also see that you are the first approver because Ann Wynn is me, and that's who I'm logged in as. If you have other approvers that have a double timestamp, so sent to approver and approved, you will know they have already approved it before you. So this one looks good. We have plenty in the budget, so we can click the Approve button at the top. It will close the view of the purchase order, refresh the approval screen, and it has been approved. From here, we can go down and let's just select another random one, and let's click Print with Details. From here, we can look at these and see that we want to approve them. Everything looks good. We can check our budget. This has been charged to about 5 different budget periods. So this one's already been allocated across July through November. It's been the same department and GL account. You can see the budget amount for each period and the percent remaining if everything that's approval pending and this PO gets approved. So this looks good. So we can go ahead and approve this one. Now notice this one says the required delivery date has passed. Please change. So the document number that we're approving, and it's asking for a new required delivery date. I'm just going to do the quick simple +1 for tomorrow. You could do +10. Maybe you want to call who put the purchase order in and ask them the new approval date, but maybe a +3 is pretty safe. So we'll go ahead and click Save. The order has now been approved. For our next example, let's select this purchase order from Virginia Meats, and we'll print with details again. If you notice that the bone-in ribeye is for 51 cases at $15 a case, which seems pretty cheap, and maybe you want to edit the quantity, all you have to do is click Edit Line. So you can actually change the quantity of what's being ordered before you approve it. So the quantity requested was 51, the quantity approved, maybe it's 42. That looks good. You can see everything else is in accordance with your standards, and click Save. From here, we can notice that the quantity has been changed and the pricing has been changed to reflect. Now, since this is a supplier on the fly, Virginia Meats, you can change the quantity. You can also change the quantity on catalog suppliers, but you cannot change the quantity on a supplier that comes from a punch out. So if it's a punch-out supplier, you must disapprove the purchase order and ask the person requesting the items to go back into the punch-out, create a new PO, and send it for approvals with the correct values. For our next example, we're going to use the Excellent Hotelier's Apple Party purchase order. So let's go ahead and hit print with details again, and let's review what they've ordered. So as you can see, it looks like they have charged apple cider to guest transportation. They've charged apple rings to team member meals, and looks like the rest of everything is team member meals. If you want to recode all of the items on a purchase order, close the view of the purchase order and hit header update. This is the simple way to bulk change everything on the entire purchase order. We can recode it to food cost if that's where it needs to be charged. You can also use the lookup for this. But if you hit the Reset Department GL Account checkbox, it will code everything on the purchase order to the Department and GL account above. From here, we can click Save. The required delivery date seems to have passed, so we can come in and change that. So we'll say plus 3 days. Okay, and we can click Save. Now when we go back to print with details, you can see everything on the purchase order has now been charged to food cost. Maybe there's one row that you do want to charge to a different line. We can hit Edit Line, scroll to the bottom, and change it at this point. So we'll just change it. We'll leave it as the department for the kitchen, but maybe we charge this to team member meals. Okay. From here, we can save this one line item. It will refresh the PO, and you can see that we've charged one line item to team member meals. Excellent. So let's go ahead and close this purchase order, and I'm going to hit the Approve button. The next example is a confirming PO. The way you know it's a confirming PO is the bright red letters and numbers, and in the confirming column it says yes. Confirming POs mean the money has already been spent, and this is an after the fact purchase order. So these purchase orders we cannot disapprove. We must approve them because you've already spent the money. So let's go ahead and hit Approve. Excellent. So that's the basics of approvals. A few other features that I'd like to cover is a mobile approval. If we go to the My Settings screen, and we scroll down, we can use approvals by email. You must have this turned on so that when you get the notification on your mobile device, it's an email with a link that takes you into a small website that says the name of the purchase order, a little bit of the basic information, not the line level detail, just some basic header information in department and GL, and gives you the option to approve it on your phone. If you need to see the entire purchase order and all of the details, you will have to use a full desktop or a laptop computer. We also have an out of office option. So according to how your approvals are set up, you will see an out of office approver appear here. If you do not, that means you are selecting an approver on the header screen of your purchase orders, and this will take you out of the mandatory flow. So out of office start date, we can use the letter T for today through, let's say, plus 5 days, and we are now out of office. We can select somebody to approve in our absence. Now this person must have a login ID that is an approver, so we can select Albert and then click Save. Once again, if you do not have the out of office approver to select someone, this will just pull you out of the required approver list. We can click Save and then Close. One other feature on the My Settings screen, so we'll hop back over there real quick, is the default tab. So if your main job in the system is to approve, you can also change your default tab for the front page. So every time you log in, you go to the Approvals tab. So you can change between the PO tab, maybe the Rec tab if you have requisitions turned on, or you can select any of the other ones here. So I like to leave mine at Approvals. The last example we have today is of notes and attachments. So as you can see on this purchase order, we have notes and attachments both on this order. So all we have to do is click Print with Details. We'll have a pop-up that says this has one attachment with 2 notes. And as we scroll down, you can see in the note section, please expedite shipping. So this is for the supplier and not for us. But it also is also saying, please approve, we need ASAP. So this is a great way for communication internally, so we can quickly review the PO and approve it. As for the attachments, we can click the Attachments button here, and it will show you all of the attachments. So you can click on the PDF to view the receiving manual, which is an attachment on this purchase order. You can actually add a couple extra attachments or delete them here. Once you're done and you've made your decision if you're going to approve or disapprove, you can click the button and it will approve it. Perfect. Excellent. So this is approvals. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your field operations team or your purchasing supply managers. If you have any other questions, you can also email Hilton Supply Management at hilton.com. Thank you very much for watching.